Hey Aries, I'm Eleanor and welcome to Peaches by Starlight Tarot. This is your first week of June reading where we are exploring your energy of Seven of Swords with observation. So this is going to be talking about not being able to see all the facts from within a situation and needing to step back and get more of an aloof bird's eye view of what's going on. It's not a week to engage, but to gather information. And so I am using the Guardian Tarot, and at the end I will be using the Kuan Oracle, and I'll pull 3 cards from that. So I won't be doing pick a card anymore the way I used to, but I will pull 3 cards at the end. So if you want to be thinking of a question that's not yes, no, or when, I will pull 3 cards, 1, 2, and 3. And so if you have an idea in your mind what your question is and which card will be for you, go ahead and have that set that intention for yourself. And I have asked that, even though it's not a pick a card anymore, but that there be something, a message for everyone that comes across this video and whenever. Because while it is generally for the first week of June, it is meant for whoever, whenever they're attracted to it. Okay? So, and this is just a general reading. So if you want a private one, there's information for that below as well. So your 4 cards this week are Suspend. This is the Hangman, and the Hangman is exactly what this energy is, which is trying to take yourself out, withhold yourself from the situation to get all of the angles and to get a different perspective. And it's in reverse, but that does mean something different in this particular deck, and I'll explore that with you in a little bit. You have the Ten of Swords, which in general in the traditional is like an ending to a negative thought spiral, but in this deck it's kind of talking about fragmented self-concept. You have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse and 4 of Wands. All right, so with Seven of Swords in reverse, Suspend, there's a certain head in the sand energy to this, but it's like you're still meant to, it's like, yes, you're not meant to engage, but you're still meant to pay attention. You're still supposed to be, it's an active non-engagement and it's an active separation. So this is talking about Suspend in reverse. It's about reliving the past and about patterns repeating. And so this observation they're calling you towards is something that doesn't look cyclic while you're in it, but when you look out, when you zoom out, you can see it comes round and round and round. But when you're in it, you're not noticing the pattern. And the Ten of Swords, you are meant to find that glitch. And it's like, on one hand, the first thing I want to say is to break a cycle, but what you're really doing is fixing a broken record, finding out what that skip is. And so with this being about a fragment itself, it is scattered energy. It's talking about all the different faces that you put on to be for different people in different situations. And that's like, almost that's what creates the skip in the record. And so, Ten of Swords and 4 of Wands, these 2 cards, they're calling me to talk about, or to mention structural integrity. And then these 3 together, it's talking about that structural integrity being tied to a self-concept that is more relational than intrinsic. So how does that self-concept hinge on having all these different parts reflected back to you and less of a core being that is solid and unchanging? And it's not that you don't have that. Everyone has that, but how do you take yourself out of this? I was talking about not seeing things from the inside and not seeing things from a cycle that while you're in it and you can see it from the outside, if you're zoomed in, if you're only looking at that little piece, it doesn't look like anything. It's when you see the bigger picture and you see how it all fits together that you're seeing what it is you're meant to. And that's just one more call to zoom out. So they're wanting you to examine your different faces, when you wear them, when and with who and why. And try to pull them all back in together and put the puzzle pieces together to see the bigger picture. And so the Nine of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands, these are tied together with the Love of Source, the Love of Universe. It kind of reminds me of, that Japanese, it's like a bowl. I saw it, I don't know I forget the name of the concept, but it was a broken bowl and they filled in that broken bowl, they filled in the crack with gold. And so there's like a of value and an increased value to broken things. But it's that gold that makes me think of this love being like glue, being a reparative, sticky substance that like ties it all together. And so it's like that bunny is looking at that bird. I feel like that's you tapping into source, tapping into your guidance, hearing what it is you're meant to hear from your intuition. So here's that broken bowl, your fractured self. And so that's talking about that glue, that love of source, your connectedness to source, being able to repair that relationship, repairs those broken, disparate identities and disparate personalities. And so, zooming out and backing out, there's a task here for you. That was kind of like breaking down it card by card, but I feel like if I were to summarize what they're wanting you to observe, it's going to be about the divine in yourself and the divine in other people. How can you see that invisible thread, that invisible energy, that glue that binds yourselves together and yourself with all the people together? That there's like one singularity, singular gravity source that's like behind the faces of all of the people that creates. I don't know, that's a loose thread there, but anyways, that's your task. And so now, I'm going to clear the table and get your 3 Kuan Yin cards. Okay. Card 1, let me... All right. First Kuan Yin card. That's what it looks like right there. And it says, spin the silken thread divine. That reminds me of what I was talking about, silken thread, that thing that ties us all together. In creating precious silks, there is a sorting process of sifting out that which is broken to find that which is precious and pure. You are commencing a new cycle, and it is time to release that which does not align with your true heart. Choose to release all vows, agreements, and connections that no longer serve your highest good. That sounds like exactly something that you do in this 10 of Swords energy. And now I know to lay these out and not just throw them down, because I'm going to need them. See, I'm learning as I go with this new setup. All right, card 2. Hang on. Today's readings are all going to be kind of janky while I learn doing it a new way from the way I've done in the past 6 months. Alright, there's what it looks like. Hear the yellow tiger mother. Sometimes we must be strong and hold true whilst all around us seems to be shifting and changing. The yellow tiger mother, Kuan Yin, in her guardian role is roaring within you, reminding you that you are a powerful being of light, and even whilst you are in the flow with universal forces, your strong roots help you stand your ground as your lights shine true. And that is corroborated right here where I was talking about structural integrity, right? Okay, let's get the third one for you. If you chose card 3. Just one. There we go. So that's your image right there. How Kuan Yin is manifesting for you. Princess of the Autumn Harvest. Princess of the Autumn Harvest brings gifts of bounty and blessing for efforts and actions of the past. It is a time when the fruit of your labors is ripe for the picking. A beautiful blessing is on its way to you now. With gratitude in your heart, you will recognize the blessing when it comes to you, and it will serve you perfectly. Be open to receive it, knowing it is justly deserved. All right, Aries, I'll talk to you in a week. Thank you.